Part 2. The Forbidden Tree. Adam and Hawa lived a life of complete freedom in paradise. They were granted complete liberty to explore and roam Allah's beautiful gardens and enjoy all it had to offer. However, there was a singular prohibition Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given them. He warned both Adam and Hawa not to approach a certain tree. If they did, it would be an act of transgression and disobedience. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, "But come not near this tree, or you both will be of the wrongdoers." End quote. Are not backwards. This directive served as a test of their will and obedience in the otherwise unrestricted joys of paradise. It was clear to both of them that eating from this specific tree was off-limits. However, as is often the nature of man, Adam alayhis salam slowly forgot Allah's command. His willpower weakened, and his heart became easy to exploit. Seizing this vulnerable moment, Iblis saw an opportunity to demonstrate that humans were weaklings after all, and he, Iblis, was the superior being. He was resolute in his mission to lead humans away from the path of Allah's worship, and so he used this one prohibition to enact his plan of deceit and misguidance. He started whispering to him day after day. He wanted to bury a seed of doubt in Adam's alayhis salam mind. He would whisper to the couple, "Shall I guide you to the tree of immortality and the eternal kingdom?" He would also say to them, "Your Lord has forbidden this tree to you only to prevent you from becoming angels or immortals." And he swore to them, "I am truly your sincere advisor." Al-Araf, ayat 20-21. So the pair were persuaded into disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before he finished consuming the fruit of the forbidden tree, Adam alayhi salam was filled with a sense of shame, sadness, and pain. With the single act of disobedience, both Adam alayhi salam and Hawa became aware of their nudity, and they frantically began to pluck leaves to cover themselves. O children of Adam, let not Shaitan tempt you as he removed your parents from paradise, stripping them of their clothing to show them their private parts. Indeed, he sees you, he and his tribe, from where you do not see them. Indeed, we have made the devils allies to those who do not believe. Surah Al-Raf, Ayah 27. He expelled Adam, Hawa, and Iblis to earth, where he destined humans to be enemies with Iblis. He said, "Descend as enemies to each other. You will find in the earth a residence and provision for your appointed stay. There you will live. There you will die, and from there you will be resurrected." Ayah 24. Life on earth. Adam and Hawa led a life of hardship on earth. Food did not come easy, unlike in their previous abode. They were compelled to work hard in order to sustain themselves on earth. He was burdened with searching for food, clothing, and shelter for his wife and children. He was also challenged with fighting wild animals who were wandering about in search of a full meal. However, above all, the biggest burden that Adam alayhis salam had to constantly battle was the whispers of Shaitan. Shaitan stuck to his word and continued to torment the humans with his evil whispers. Nonetheless, he remained resolute and proved himself to his Lord. It was vital that he thrived on earth and brought forth offspring who would remain steadfast in their assigned duty, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Adam alayhis salam, children. The lonesome existence of Adam and Hawa on earth soon changed with the arrival of their children. Their family began with the blessing of twins, Cain, Kabil, and his sister. As time passed, they welcomed another set of twins, Abel, Habil, and his sister. The children grew, and the family enjoyed a humble life with Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala ample blessings. Qabil cultivated the land, whereas Habil reared the cattle. Part of Adam alayhi salam and Hawa's expulsion to earth with the aim of populating the land with dutiful humans who worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thus, when the children reached marriageable age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Adam alayhi salam to marry each son to the other's twin sister. There was, after all, no other family in existence besides Adam's alayhi salam family. Adam did as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed, while Habil was ready to follow Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala command. Qabil was not too pleased. Whilst Habil was known for his intelligence, obedience, and readiness to obey the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Qabil was arrogant, selfish, and disobedient to his Lord. Qabil was unhappy with the command, as according to him, Habil's twin sister was not as pleasing to the eye as his own. He defied Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala command as he refused to accept his father's advice. Adam alayhi salam was in a quandary. He was uncertain as to what needed to be done, so he called out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking his assistance. Thus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded that each son offer a sacrifice in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he would favor the son whose sacrifice he accepted. While Habil offered his best lamb to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Qabil offered his worst harvest. Therefore, naturally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted Habil's offer, whilst Qabil's disobedience towards Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala command and his insincerity in his offering caused his plea to be rejected. Enraged, Qabil said to his brother, "I will kill you." Surah Ma'idah Ayah 27. Habil responded calmly, "Allah only accepts the offering of the sincerely devout. If you raise your hand to kill me, I will not raise mine to kill you, because I fear Allah, the Lord of all worlds. I want to let you bear your sin against me, along with your other sins. Then you will be one of those destined to the fire. And that is the reward of the wrongdoers." Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:27-29. Habil was principled in his response. He was not fazed by his brother's threats, but he made certain that he reminded his brother not to stray from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first murder. The hatred that Qabil had towards his brother outweighed all other forms of familial bonds and emotions. The fear of Allah's subhanahu wa ta'ala punishment also failed to arise in his mind. As expected, Qabil did not heed his brother's warnings. He struck Habil with a stone and killed him in an instant. This was the first death and murder in the history of humankind. As time passed, and Habil did not return home, Adam alayhi salam began worrying. He began look for his son, but found no trace. When he inquired about Habil's whereabouts, Qabil stated that he was not his brother's keeper nor protector. It didn't take Adam alayhi salam long to realize that his beloved Habil was no more. Adam alayhi salam was consumed with grief. Having murdered his brother, Qabil was unsure what needed to be done with Habil's body. He wandered all over, pondering how he could hide the body from his family. As his anger slowly subsided, Qabil began to feel remorse for his brother and was overcome with guilt. In a bid to retain the dignity of the deceased, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused Qabil to witness the death and burial of two crows. Cain watched as the crow used its claws and beak to dig a hole in the earth, push the carcass into it, and cover it with sand. Then Allah sent a crow searching, i.e. scratching, in the ground, to show him how to hide the disgrace of his brother. He said, "O woe to me! Have I failed to be like this crow and hide the disgrace, i.e. body, of my brother?" And he became of the regretful. Surah Maida, Ayah 31. Adam, alayhi salam, lost both his sons and was overwhelmed with grief. Habil was murdered while Qabil was under the spell of the devil. He made dua for his son and went on to carry out the duties expected of him. He continued to warn his children and grandchildren of Iblis and constantly reminded them to worship Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not be among those who disobeyed him. Adam alayhi salam death. One day, Adam alayhi salam, who was gravely ill, said to his children, "My children, indeed I feel an appetite for the fruits of paradise." Intent on fulfilling their father's request, the children set out to gather the fruits of paradise. On their way, they met with some angels who carried with them Adam's alayhi salam shroud and other materials required for the preparation of a body for burial. The angels instructed the children of Adam to hasten home, as their father was about to meet his end soon. So the children returned home with the angels. Upon arrival, the angels took Adam's alayhi salam soul. They prepared him for the funeral, wrapped him in the shroud, dug his grave, and laid him in it. They told the children of Adam, "Strong, children of Adam, this is your tradition at the time of death." Following the death of Adam, alayhi salam, his son Seth, alayhi salam, succeeded him. He too was made a prophet and was tasked with the duty of guiding people to the path of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe for more.